The way you mentioned that you were a part of NCC reminded me of my childhood because I also belong to Sainik School Kunchura, and even did the NCC. I attended two annual training camps, ATCs, and I can correlate with your life. I can understand from my experiences. And one thing that you said about parasf, we are normal. You would need to be like us. I really like that confidence. I mean, that confidence only the para forces can give a person. I want to know from you a concept called self motivation, because the way you mentioned that you were very clear right from the age of 4 that you just don't want to join the army, you'd want to join 7 para SF, which is your father's parent unit, and you achieved that milestone. And after getting into the academy, the an amazing fact about you is that you didn't join your regiment, but you went to the special forces directly from the academy. That again shows how motivated you were from inside and the strategies that you formulated to achieve those goals. So I want to know from you, sir, how you kept yourself motivated throughout your career. Definitely there will be some phases in everybody's course of life that demotivates them. Like you mentioned that probation wasn't easy. There were instances when I was broken down mentally, and they psychologically broke me. So how did you kept yourself motivated during that phase, apart from an external motivation? What kept you from inside? One thing you have told that you read Bhagavad Gita. And how do you think that people like me and other professionals and youngsters should keep them motivated throughout their lives and throughout their careers, even if they are not able to achieve their goals? Yes, sir.
So, Arpit, coming on to self-motivation and drive. Okay, Arpit, the concept is, okay, I'll explain to you with an example. When you are in mountain, when you are climbing a mountain, a lot of mountaineers put themselves in positions where there is no way to go but up. If you come down, you'll die. My father, Colonel Anand Chaturvedi, he taught this to me at 16 years of age when I was in an expedition with him. There was a blizzard going on outside. What is a 16-year-old boy, yaar? मेरे को डर लग रहा था. The wind was, maybe it was howling on that ridge where we were camped for the night, and there were huge, there was nothing visible outside. And so we had gone. There were Ladakh Scout soldiers with us who are expert mountaineers, and we had to climb that peak in the morning. So what we did was that tent was flapping, you know. So we synced our clapping with the flapping, and we started singing songs in that blizzard. And I was afraid that night. I was mortally scared. But once we started on that, the soldiers, these army guys, when they started off, I was not in the army at that time. So my father explained this concept. He says, see, we can go down, but you realize how difficult it will be to come back up. And he says, I have been into many expeditions in my life. So don't be so afraid. He says, it is your first expedition. It is fine that you're feeling a bit nervous and afraid. But he says, embrace your fear. It is fine. He says, yes, that you should be prepared to disengage and move back and come back up again. So what I wanted to tell you was that self-drive and motivation also comes from the fact that many times in life you have nobody else to look back and fall back upon. When I was growing up in my hometown, Agra, and yes, in between at Bhopal also, I was like alone on the road and all, and I was not very fit physically in class 7th, 8th and all, and we used to be almost bullied by boys around, and like, we, we had nobody to fall back upon. So that gave me the drive to stand up on my own 2 feet. Maybe you can call it a street fight. So if people think that because I'm speaking over here that I have had a I was born with a golden spoon in my mouth, with a silver spoon. I was not. I've had a very rough upbringing. And that was what motivated me. That's what motivated me to join the armed forces and the paras especially. Because, and then self motivation comes from your why, your purpose. You know, my purpose at that time in my life was to fight for my nation. Maybe not fight for the nation, but to serve my nation. Uh, I mean, the national flag still gives me goosebumps, when I see my national flag. उस टाइम पे तो मतलब मैं हिल जाता था नेशनल फ्लैग को देख के कि बॉस आई हैव टू सर्व दिस थिंग एंड I have been brought up in a manner that I don't speak out all this. I just keep it in my heart and it goes into my heart as a fire. So that fire should be so strong. And like if you read Robin Sharma, the monk who sold his Ferrari, if you if you're obsessed with excellence and achieving your aims, nothing else will matter to you. You know, your world will become so beautiful to you. Everything else falls into place because you're focused only on your target. And from class 7th onwards, my target in life was very clear that now I have to just join the army. That is what motivated me, that is what guided me, and that is what made me help me reach a stage where I am today. And if you are obsessed to the point of obsession with your goals, you have to write down your goals, in a diary and read them first thing in the morning. And then, not to motivate you, but you know, those goals should give you that fire. I am here, I have to reach here. You have to gauge it every day. You have to examine yourself every day कि मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ. I was in a stage. तो आगरे में बोलते थे कि मेरे एक ट्यूटर थे जो उन्होंने मेरे को बहुत सिखाया. तो उन्होंने बोला दौड़ धूप करने से एग्जाम पास नहीं होता. ही सेज अपना प्लान बनाओ, उसको फेजेस में डालो और sit down on your chair and study. That's what I did. NCC, I excelled in NCC because I knew that if I do NCC certificate, I will get those extra points to join the army. So I excelled in it. So motivation, drive, purpose, they are all combined. Mass into velocity is momentum. You have to maintain your momentum forward in life. And as a human being, I don't need anyone to give me that momentum. I find it from myself. Like at that time, my why was, I wanted to do a job where, at that time, I was we're not very sure that even if, whether I live to have children or get married and all. But I was very sure that my nephews and nieces, they should not look at any other man for their inspiration. I should be inspiring them. That's what motivated me. And that's what motivated me to excel in the army. That's what motivated me to do so well everywhere. And that's what motivated me to, study, be physically fit, get fit, work out, and choose your friends wisely. Your friend circle should be such that they should be adding on to your focus and why. They should not be defocused. Of course, I'm not saying don't have fun. कॉलेज बंक मार के कभी पिक्चर देखने का जो मजा है वो तो कभी मिस करना ही नहीं है ना. You also have to bunk college sometimes. Yeah, I mean, you should have friends. Why not? You should have some. हो जाता है. You can have a girlfriend also if you are within limits. I mean, don't cross this thing. You should know your healthy boundaries with everyone, with men and women both. Why only women? Okay. So, but you have to live your life in a balanced manner. But your basic focus has to be clear. That boss, in the morning, I have to work out because I have to keep myself reasonably fit. I have to study for maybe 12 hours a day. These are my goals, this week's goals, and come what may, I have to do it. So what I used to do, I used to finish my weekly goal by Friday so that I could have fun on Saturday, Sunday. Or maybe just study on Saturday, Sunday so you can have fun on in the college for 2 days. That's how it is. And we were always hard up on money and everything. We did not even have, हमारे time में तो samosa was 25 paise यार. But we never, sometimes I never had 25 paise to have samosa. That's how I was brought up. And so I'm pretty okay with that. So that's what motivated me. That's what guided me. Now, if you see my why, now my why is my son who is in abroad, who's studying, and my wife. They are my why. So your why has to be bigger than your what and how. If your why is clear, na, everything will fall into place. And you have to be obsessed by your, dreams. People say that, chase your dreams and all this bullshit. I call it bullshit. You should live your dream every day. And if you're not living your dream, if you're not having your passions every day, sorry, you are in the wrong place. You should leave that job and find another job. I mean, that's how it is.
Amazing,
So,
sir. Like you have mentioned how to keep ourselves motivated. I know it's your podcast, but I would like to share my story here as well. So it goes back to the time when I was preparing for my CAPF interview. I prepared for the UPSC CAPF exam, appeared in 2020. Although result came almost after 2.5 years. So my medical was due at that point of time. And since it was COVID, I was at my home and I was preparing for the exams. I was completely out of, you can say, all those physical activities. So when I for first while practicing for my long jump, when I made my first jump, I had injury in my right foot, straight away on the right foot, and I had to take a lot of work from my legs for the physical efficiency test. I took some rest. After the like 3 4 days, I again tried, and then I had injury on my left foot. So my both my feet were gone. And now I took practice running for like 4 kilometers, 3 kilometers. I was running. I just couldn't run because of those that pain in my legs. Then I thought, what do I want from life? Like how to keep myself motivated. So I thought, okay, if I become an assistant commandant, I'll just write down assistant commandant after like in front of my house on the nameplate, and that was my motivation. And just I kept that thing in my mind that my house is getting constructed, and if it gets constructed and I become an assistant commandant, I'll write that name on the nameplate along with my father's name, and that will be motivation for me for throughout my life. So just that thing in mind that kept me motivated, and I cleared the exam and the physical efficiency test also. Yeah, but your story of the self motivation, that's simply amazing. And yeah, I think a lot of things to be like incorporated in the lives from what you have just mentioned. Sir, while talking to you on the podcast and on the call, I just realized one thing about you, that you have lived a very fulfilling life. You have just said that don't chase your dreams, live your dream. So now I want to come on the point and know from you, like what is a fulfilling life according to you, and how shall one live a fulfilling life? Like you have mentioned that I always wanted to do those all rock climbings and all that stuff. Just wanted to join my father's parent unit. So you have somewhere in your heart lived a very fulfilling life. And on the call, you just mentioned, okay, Arpit, I'm leaving Mumbai. I'm going to this place, and I'll be just doing rides on the motorcycle. I'll buy a new camera. So I think I've never talked to a person like this who is so motivated, even after like this age, 26 years of the army. And after that also, you're so motivated in life. So I just want to know your concept and your thinking and your perspective on the life.
okay, my perspective to start with, Arpit, is KISS, KISS. Keep it simple and stupid. I don't make complex goals. I'm basically a very simple soul. I don't go into complexities of lives too much. I mean what I say. I don't read between the lines of people too much. It is a huge disadvantage sometimes. But you should be able to read that also. You should be smart enough. But what I do is that every year between 25th and 31st, I write down few things which I want to do professionally, personally, adventure, you know, upskilling. So every year I upskill myself. Every year I do one or two adventures. Every year I do some professional courses. Every year I will learn something new, and every year I want to visit a new place. And yeah, coming on to that, see, fulfilling life is about, for me, it is, yeah, you should earn money. But in your race for money and success and everything, don't stop, don't forget how to live your life. Because, your company or himself, they'll replace you in 10 minutes. You are dead, somebody will come in 7 days, 1 month, the new person will come. You are not, you are not an indispensable soul. But your family and your parents and everybody will miss you, your son and so always find time to yourself, always trying to have a work-life balance. And once in a while, look at that diary and see that what all is balanced this year, and try and do it. And that's how I live my life. And maybe I might not ride every day, I might not ride every Sunday, but yeah, twice a month I'll make sure I ride my bike. And I'll go to a new place. I'll take a, and it's very important to click pictures, have memories. Sometimes it is not important to click pictures. Sometimes it is just to absorb the moment. You know, don't spoil the moment. Like if you are watching a sunset, don't spoil the sun. Absorb the setting sun or the rising sun in you. You don't have to click pictures of everything. I won't have a picture of a rising sun ever because I want to observe it. Surya Devta ko, because I believe in that. So उनको प्रणाम करो and be thankful and be happy that this is a new day and you are living through. That's how I follow. And what I told you earlier, memento mori, stoicism. You can die anytime. Your now is the most important. If you're not living mindfully for now, I mean, after the podcast, I might just pass out or something might happen to me. So, I mean, it is not a very, I'm not being depressive or pessimistic about it. No, it's a fact of life. The moment you accept it, now, then you will start living. Your life starts the day you realize that only you have only one life to live, this one. So my life started when I was a lieutenant, when on my first patrol, on my first operation, my radio operator got shot and died. I started living my life like post that. I mean, absolutely. That was the most important benchmarking event of my life. And yeah, I still think about it, what went wrong, how it went wrong, what went wrong, how it happened. But I am not found answers still to that. But yeah, I mean that there are events which are milestones in your life. And I have escaped that death around 12, 14 times in my life. I'm very thankful to God that I'm still living and I get to see another day. And that's how I live it. Yeah, be it going into the mountains, being it going. I was just last week I was in Goa for 10 days. I made sure I went to the beach. I made sure that I swam in the sea. These days, yeah, people go to the beach and they don't swim in the sea. अरे तो फिर if you're going to a beach and you're not entering the sea water, why are you even going there? You can go to a pond or a fountain and sit there. So that's what I meant by the now. It is not important to go and drink beer or tequila by the sea. It is very important to drown yourself once in a while in sea water with your head down and see the effect of it. It is healing. Sea water, salt water is healing. That's what I do. So before I came here, I knew that I'm going to a slightly remote area. So I went to the sea and I did everything possible in Goa, whatever I wanted to do. Similarly, now I brought my bikes. Today I have not gone for rides. It's been raining since morning. So, but then next week I'm going to come back. I'm going to another beach in Vizag of course, this is for an official training and a meeting. But if I get time, I will still go to a beach in the morning. Why not? Watch the setting, watch the rising sun, watch the setting. I mean, you have to take out time for these things. Nobody will ever give you time. I mean, if somebody is paying you money, they will want you to do the job also. No? So you have to You have to be smart. You have to plan in your mind, okay, I will do this, then I'll do this. And of course, leading a fulfilling life also means being a little spiritual, not religious, but spiritual. Like, so I follow Isha Yoga. I do Isha Yoga, Isha Kriya and all. And then a lot of people follow so many things. I respect all of them, what they do. And of course, I do this. I'm a very good tarot reader also. I learned tarot reading 2.5 years ago. Then I have learned access bars. Access bars are 32 points on your brain. By touching them, you can activate a lot of, you can get rid of a lot of energy blocks and all in the body. So, and then of course, meditation, yoga, good exercise. Eating healthy is another very important thing. One should eat healthy. So I am not giving you high flown fundas about how to give life. I'm only live life. I'm only telling you that we should keep it simple and stupid. We can't go on a diet all the time, but we can have portion control. You know, we can eat less. We can go off carbs. Don't eat carbs. We can go off sweets for a month or so. Not for young people, but talking about mid 40s or something, that 50s. So all those things help in life. And fulfilling life is also, at the end of the day, it's not about having a lot of money, having money, but it is also, you should know how to spend money and how to save money, both. And then every year, once or twice, you should go into nature, go into the mountains, go into the sea, do something worthwhile over there, sit alone for some time. I used to go to the beach alone, absolutely. Nobody used to go with me, you know. So that's how it is. And that's what I mean by having a fulfilling life.
Amazing, sir. Your experiences of life जो आपने पूरा देखा है, right, from your childhood to the 26 years in the army, your time in special forces, and now your life in the corporate sector, you have summarized them in a very amazing manner.